time to wipe the eye crust out your eyes, go brush your teeth, because I don't want you watching my video with no stanky morning breath. Welcome back to Attack on Cowboys in the AM, and we got Brian Schottenheimer up before the roosters crowing, and he's talking about all the plans of the Dallas Cowboys, including their draft strategy, the number 2 wide receiver position, the fact that they're still not done in free agency, and he comments about Micah Parsons and his contract situation. Let's get into all of this, provided to us by the Athletics' John Machota. Y'all be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content on the regular, just like this one. All right, so this first clip right here we're going to take a listen to is going to be Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer on Dallas not being done in free agency and their draft plan. Hey, anytime, Shotty, I love hearing Brian Schottenheimer talk, man. It's a completely different type of effect than what Mike McCarthy had listening to him. So let's go ahead and take a listen to this, man. I love listening to this dude talk.
Let's get into the draft where we can take the best player available.
Oh! Whoa, he instantly let us know the draft strategy here. He already is letting us know he wants to get into a place with this roster where he can go into the draft and do best player available. Let's keep listening.
In my opinion, that's the best way to go. And I think, talking to Steven and Jerry and Will, like, by making some of the moves that we've made, we feel like, yeah, we're not done. We still have things that we want to do. But, like, when you get into the draft and you're sitting there at those certain spots, the scouts have done an incredible job. I've said it to them. I've said it to you guys. The scouts and the personnel guys, they're the experts. They do this 365 days a year.
Right.
It's our job as a coaching staff to present to them, here's what we want, here's what we're looking for, and then the conversations at the combine were incredible. We had some really just awesome give and take about positions and the way you define a 3 technique or the way you define an offensive lineman or a tight end. But yeah, I feel like we go into this draft with a lot of confidence. Again, we're not done in free agency. We're always looking to acquire. We're always looking to compete in the personnel side of it. But I do feel like we've set ourselves up to go into the draft where, hey, we're sitting in certain spots. That's the guy's the best player available. Let's take it.
Okay. So Shotty let us know that he does feel as if the Cowboys have kind of set themselves in a better spot to where they've addressed some depth issues, and now they can pretty much head into the draft and go best player available. And for the most part, I would say, I agree with that. I think as of right now, we still clearly need a number 2 wide receiver. And that right there would take priority for me over a lot of other positions. And Brian Schottenheimer actually discussed this exact situation here. So let's listen to what he said about the Cowboys' number 2 wide receiver spot, y'all. Very interesting stuff here from John Machota this morning.
Yeah. Again, CeeDee's an incredible player. Always looking to add depth at that room. Again, really proud of Jalen Tolbert. I've talked about him from...
My man in the back got the smallest of shirts on right there. My man in this purple shirt right here, I know this has nothing to do with what Shotty said. This man in this purple shirt is diabolical, bro. That mug, I bet you can see his heart beating through his chest in that shirt. All right.
We started talking about it 2 years ago when he was improving, to now we talk about him as the leading receiver, touchdown-wise on our team. Along with finding guys and adding more pieces, it's our job as a staff to be a developmental staff.
Told y'all. Hey, what did I tell y'all? Gonna start listening to AOC. And yes, I'm gonna take every opportunity I can to say I told you so, because I need y'all to start listening to what I'm telling you, bruh. What have I been saying about this season for the past week or two? I said this season is clearly a develop and evaluate season. They are going to develop the guys that they have here and evaluate these players to see if these coaches can work with the guys that they have or if they need to change some pieces out. This is clearly a develop and evaluate season. Shotty just said it word for word, bro. He said this is a development staff. Man, I know what I'm talking about, boy.
Right? We need to get these guys like Ryan Flournoy, Mingo to take the next step.
Ryan Flournoy, Mingo. Notice the 2 names that he said.
To do that. That's our job. And so one of the things that we're working on right now is an improvement plan for each guy, okay? And, all right, so let's use Mingo, for example. These are the 2 or 3 things that, okay, hey, for Mingo to get to where we want him to go, he does these 3 things. It's not just those 3 things. It's what are the steps, the action plan to do those 3 things.
I love hearing Brian Brian Schottenheimer talk. This is a leader. This is a man with a freaking plan. This is a man that understands exactly how he wants to put his plan into action, bro. Oh man, Brian Schottenheimer, everyone needs to really take this season, this offseason and what's going on. I need you guys to really take this in. I need you guys to really take in the fact that Jerry's pretty much been MIA for the most part. I need you guys to really take in the fact that Stephen Jones is somehow saying all the right things this offseason. I need you guys to really take in the fact that Schottenheimer and the tone that he set may very well end up being a flashpoint for this organization where we look back and be like, that was the moment things changed. I love this dude, man.
So that's what we're looking at now with our current players, because as you know, they come back here in 2 weeks. And so between developing those guys on the roster and always looking,
I love it. I mean, having a specific plan, having it to where each individual player on your roster, they know exactly what they're expected to do. They know exactly what their coaching staff is wanting out of them. And that right there makes it easier for everyone. When you can go to work and you know your exact job responsibilities and you know that everyone else knows their exact job responsibilities, that makes it so much easier than everyone out there pretty much being mercenaries. I love this, man.
For every corner to add some speed and some more playmaking skills, we're always looking to do that. Where's Dak in his...
Okay, so, you know, he was talking about the fact that, yes, he does want them to go out and keep supplementing the roster, but at the same time, the number 2 wide receiver spot, they have to help develop some of these guys. Some of these guys, they have to figure out what all can they get out of them. A Jonathan Mingo, a Ron Flournoy, you know what I'm saying? So interesting stuff there from Shotty. Let's keep it moving here because, again, John dropped a lot of heat on us this early morning. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what Brian Schottenheimer's goal is with the 12th overall pick, and then we'll listen to some Micah Parsons contract talk.
Yeah, again, the starting point would be best player available. You know, you're always looking for game changers when you're picking 12. Like, we don't want to ever pick 12th again. All right, let's be honest. We don't want to pick that high. But you're looking for guys that influence the game. How do you influence the game? You rush the quarterback and you get sacks, strip sacks, fumbles, whatever it is. You score touchdowns. Okay, so those are usually, I look at it this way.
Okay. So, yes, some best pick available, but at 12 specifically, he said that high, you want to find game changers. Stop pushing offensive linemen. That high, you want to find game changers. Guys who cause sacks, strip fumbles, or guys who score touchdowns. Not dudes who do this the whole game. Not that, y'all. Touchdowns, fumbles, sacks. So we're looking at pass rushers and skill positions at pick 12.
You build it from the outside in. So you got corners, receivers, they get isolated one-on-one. Pass rushers, tackles, they get isolated one-on-one. And then obviously the quarterback position. But usually that's the way I've looked at it, is when you're
interesting. So Shotty's saying he wants to build it from the outside in, meaning he wants to make sure that the guys on the outside are a threat. Your corners, your receivers, those are threats. Your defensive ends, those are threats individually. Then you really start looking at the big chunky guys in the middle. Interesting change of philosophy here.
Roster, kind of think of it from building it from outside in, based on guys that get isolated a lot. Because when you're isolated and you can't help, it's pretty daunting task sometimes.
Based on guys that get isolated a lot. So essentially what he's saying is, he wants the guys that are in independent situations a lot, or guys that are on islands by themselves. Your receivers, your corners, your pass rushers, the Micah Parsons of the world, right? The guys that get isolated a lot. Those are guys that it's easier to game plan for, and it's harder to help them as a unit and as a coaching staff. So he wants to make sure that those guys have the appropriate talent level and skill level to satisfy that. So I absolutely understand everything Shotty's saying here. Let's get into this last clip here of Micah Parsons and his contract situation. This may give us some good insight into how Shotty sees Micah and what he sees Micah doing for this team in the future.
Yeah, you guys know. I mean, hey, look, at the end of the day, this business, and when you're dealing with, the money that's being tossed around, not just with Micah, but with the big name players, negotiations sometimes take time. I feel very comfortable. Micah said he's going to be around. I think that's what he wants to be. I think we're all very comfortable with that. And at the end of the day, he's a great player, and we think he's just getting started, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I have no question in my mind that he'll be around.
All right, so about much to do about nothing right there. But a lot of this stuff, a lot of really good stuff coming out of the press conference for Brian Schottenheimer. Not really a presser, just I guess a media scrum.
Yeah.
And him letting us know that Dallas is not done in free agency. They plan on doing best pick available in round 1. They do want to try to get a game changer. Like, he let us know the draft plan, y'all. Like, round 1, game changer. You're looking for a game changer. You're looking for someone that's going to make plays, whether it be defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball. You're looking for a playmaker, right? Every other round, it seems like they're going to be leaning towards best pick available. They are not done in free agency. Steven has also echoed this sentiment that they are not done in free agency, and they're looking at trades right now as well. They're talking about trades. He said it's not far enough along to where he would say a deal is close to being done, but he said they are currently in talks about trade. So the Cowboys are cooking, ladies and gentlemen. Let them cook. I love hearing from Brian Schottenheimer. It's just a breath of fresh air. He really gets into the weeds. He gives you detailed answers. He gives you detailed explanations, a detailed thought process of how he's evaluating this thing. You can really understand what his goals are. If you're really listening, you can really understand what his goals are. And I love everything about Shotty. And I'll continue to say this, man. In Shotty we trust. In Shotty we trust, man. How about them Cowboys?
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.